It's about BAM time. I mean, let's face it, your business needs an audience. That's where the customers come from. However, most businesses seem to take the pin the tail on the donkey approach to finding this audience, blindfolded, wandering aimlessly, and probably never getting anywhere close to where they need to be. It's embarrassing to watch. Everyone laughs. It's about BAM time to make a change for the sake of your business. Give us 7.5 minutes, and we'll get you pointed in the right direction. Grab paper and something to write with. Now, consider the following 3 questions. 1. What is your vision for your brand or business? 2. What is keeping this vision from becoming a reality? 3. Do you know how to test the fortitude of your vision and brand messaging? Hit pause on this video for a second and jot down your thoughts. There are no right or wrong answers. We're just finding a place for you to start the Big BAM process. The full transformation and empowerment of your brand begins right now. For years, we've designed and fine-tuned the Big BAM process to test and recalibrate the substance and fortitude of your brand's message and vision. The result of this process is to give you the clarity and focus you need to push your brand forward and break through any challenges your brand is experiencing. Through this process, you will also have a clear understanding of your ideal audience. We've seen countless businesses play pin the tail on the donkey when selecting their target audience. In the end, they attract the kind of people they hate working with. But when you are clear on the exact kind of client or customer you're after, when your values and intentions line up, you get a deep connection that is sustainable and lucrative. This is Joel Kelly. He is the designer of the Big BAM process. For over 20 years, he has dedicated himself to the study of branding. He loves the challenge of simplifying the complex and analyzing all sides and variables before determining a path. Joel's constant focus has been calibrating alignment between customers and business to discover the magic waiting there for everyone. When it comes to branding, most people have no clue as to what it is or the power it wields. Branding is not about creating a logo or picking a color scheme. With the Big BAM process, we start by determining who your brand is for, instead of focusing on the things you like. Your brand is just as much for your customers as it is for you. Every module within the process has its purpose. We tested the Big BAM framework with thousands of small business owners and saw remarkable results. In fact, we encourage you to connect with any of these owners and ask them about their experience with BAM. The process is built on the 12 Jungian archetypes. Initially conceived and published by psychologist Carl Jung, the Big BAM process goes deep into the dark history of archetypes. We know the internet is rife with content about branding and archetypes and personality tests that are, at best, based on pseudo-psychology. At the worst, they encourage you to pick an archetype based on simple character definitions. That's not what we're about. With BAM, you go deep. In the Big BAM process, we focus on Jung's deeper, less popular work to discover how the archetypes call forth our uniquely inherent and unconscious design. To share the exact words of Jung, archetypes are forms or images of a collective nature which occur practically all over the earth as constituents of myths and at the same time as individual products of unconscious origin. John Howard Spink defines archetypes in a simpler, easier to understand way. An archetype is a universally familiar character or situation that transcends time, place, culture, gender, and age. It represents an eternal truth. There are many layers to each archetype, but the Big BAM process focuses on the foundation, although we are developing a vast library of resources that will allow you to go much deeper, should you be so inclined. When you look at the archetype as something far more powerful than a character for your brand, you start to see how it is a robust tool for communicating with your ideal clients. When you pick your own archetype, thinking you know what your clients want, you might show up looking like Superman when your client really needs a Clark Kent. In the Big BAM process, we go beyond the simple personality test that creates a character and into a behavioral-backed personality type quiz. We have poured significant resources into our archetype quiz, tapping the skills of those who are uniquely qualified in the field to create something that will guide you on the journey of discovering your brand personality. This quiz identifies your inherent intrinsic archetype, the one you were born with, and your environmental archetype, which you learn and nurture based on the environment of your upbringing. Together, these two archetypes are what we call your archetypal mix. Once you have your archetypes, the Big BAM process is done through a day-long, one-on-one participatory teaching seminar. Or you can join a 3 partial-day group training workshop. Or you can do it yourself through our video-guided process. All of our courses come with a 43-page archetype alignment guide that highlights archetypes and how they think and communicate with one another. You also receive a 53-page workbook to use while you work through the process with your guide. Over the course of the workshop, we use your archetypal mix to uncover 1. Identity, including target demographics, target psychographics, your aligned client, your referral source, and your identity perception based on the CAP-Ferrer prism. After we're clear on identity, we move on to analysis, where we uncover your client's pain and discover their hope. We then dig deep to discover how you are the client's guide, not their hero. We show you the process for creating a cash flow-centric strategy for business growth. We help you develop and/or refine your offer to prevent bottlenecks and increase cash flow. We work with you to decide how to implement what you've learned into your business. We then evaluate precisely what success and failure mean, both to you and to your client, and we put all of that together to create a magnetic brand message. With all of this in hand, we are able to then create your BAM shot, a simple but powerful document that puts everyone on the same page with your brand. This is where we clarify and refine the results of your process so your messaging becomes clear and consistent. The Big BAM process is cognitively challenging but incredibly eye-opening. Every participant walks away with a strong feeling of yes and with a plan of how to move their business forward. Ready to explore this further? Go ahead and see what past BAM graduates have said about the process by scanning this code. You can also book a no-obligation consultation with one of our professional BAM ambassadors to get your questions answered. Ready to get going sooner? Check out our workshops here. Thank you for your time. We hope to see you in one of our workshops, because like we said at the beginning, it's about BAM time to stop playing pin the tail on the donkey and recalibrate your brand to attract the right audience.